Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to crack open what's basically the original source code for mental resilience, an ancient operating system for thriving in a chaotic world.
You've definitely heard stuff like this before, right? It's all over modern self-help, and it's always presented like this brand new key to a better life. But what if it's not new at all?
Yeah, let's really get into this, because these super popular ideas, they're actually just fragments, little pieces cherry-picked from this huge, profound philosophy that was forged right in the heart of the Roman Empire. So our guide for this journey is one of the most powerful men who ever lived. I mean, think about it. A guy who, at the absolute peak of his power, was dealing with constant war, a devastating plague, and just the sheer weight of an entire empire on his shoulders. See, Marcus Aurelius wasn't just an emperor. He was a philosopher, and his go-to toolkit for handling all that insane pressure, it wasn't his power, it wasn't his wealth, it was a set of really practical mental exercise. And here's the thing that's so wild about this. His most famous book, Meditations, it was never meant for you and me. It was his private journal, the stuff he was literally jotting down in military tents on the front lines, basically coaching himself through the day. So you see, this wasn't some lofty, abstract theory for him. Philosophy was like first aid for his soul. It was a practical, daily routine for managing his own mind. I mean, it's a self-help book in the most literal sense possible. All right, so the absolute core of his whole operating system, the entry point, it all starts with one single radical distinction. And this chart, it just perfectly illustrates that foundation, separating what's up to us from what isn't. He argued that almost everything we stress about, traffic, what other people think of us, even our own health to an extent, is ultimately outside our direct control. The only thing we truly command is our inner world, our judgments, our actions, our will. Okay, so once you really accept what you can't control, the next step is to actively guard your mind. The Stoics taught that events themselves aren't what hurt us. It's our opinion, our judgment about them, that causes all our suffering. This right here, this is the key to building what they called an inner fortress. A bad quarterly report isn't inherently a disaster. That's just an event. We're the ones who slap that label on it. And by choosing a different label, a different judgment, we take back our own inner peace. Okay, so protecting your inner world is only half the battle, right? Once you've got that fortress secure, how are you actually supposed to act out there in the real world? The Stoic answer was both simple and incredibly profound. You act with virtue. Every single action, every decision should be guided by this internal compass made of 4 key principles. And for Marcus, there was simply nothing better. But here's the really crucial part. You act with virtue for its own sake. You don't do it to get praise or some kind of reward. You just do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. Period, regardless of how it turns out. All right, so you've secured your mind, you're acting with virtue. The final layer of this whole system involves 2 incredibly powerful mindsets that let you face whatever reality throws at you with grace and strength. The first one is this practice of remembering our own mortality. And look, I know that sounds kind of grim, but it's not meant to be. It's really a tool for perspective. The moment you remember that your time here is finite, all those little daily annoyances, they just lose their power, don't they? So this awareness of death isn't a downer. It's a call to life. It's basically shouting at you to stop worrying about the past or the future and to live fully and virtuously in the present moment, because that's the only moment you ever really have. Now, the second mindset, this might be the most powerful of them all. The idea is not just to tolerate whatever happens to you, but to love it. To treat every single obstacle, every setback, every challenge as if you had chosen it for yourself. This is a total game changer. It transforms you from a passive victim of your circumstances into an active participant in your own life. Like the famous saying goes, the obstacle becomes the way. Suddenly, every event is an opportunity to practice virtue. Okay, so let's tie all of this back to where we started and see why the complete, original system is so much more powerful than just grabbing a few of its parts. You see, modern self-help loves to do this. They'll isolate one of these powerful ideas, package it up as a quick fix, and then sell it to you like it's some revolutionary new insight. But these concepts were never, ever meant to stand alone. They're like interlocking gears in a single, perfectly designed machine. They absolutely need each other to work properly. I mean, just think about it for a second. If you only focus on what you can control, but you don't have that commitment to virtue, well, that can just turn into calculated selfishness. And if you accept your fate without taking courageous action, that's just being passive. The system only works when it's all together. So the real takeaway here is this. This ancient wisdom isn't offering us a bunch of clever tricks to just feel a little better. It's a complete, robust training program for being a better human. It's a guide to living a life of real purpose, resilience, and true tranquility. This is a system that has been pressure tested for 2,000 years, and it leaves us with a question that's not just about what we can do to feel good, but about who we can consciously choose to be.